Hello, kindred spirits. Welcome to my channel where hopefully I can persuade you to fly high in the sky with books. And today's literary mess is about the soul of this little book, The Pages, Hugo Hamilton. This book was written in 2021. The main premise of this book is pretty cool. Do you know who the narrator of The Pages is? None other than another book, Joseph Roth's Rebellion, the book written in the 1920s about a World War I amputee who became an organ grinder trying to survive in post-war Vienna. I'll just give you another minute so it can sink in entirely in your psyches. The narrator of this book is another book, Joseph Roth's Rebellion. Thanks, Hugo. So, the narrator, Rebellion, recounts how it was saved from the book burning done by the Nazis in Berlin, May 1933. This is what he has to say about it on page 23. A sense of fear ran through the shelves as the titles were called out. Books saying quick goodbyes to each other as they were being tied up in bundles with twine ready to be carried outside. The students had an air of triumph. This was their moment, their revenge on learning. All those years spent sitting at desks, forced to love books they detested. This was their chance to step outside received wisdom and take part in a glorious act of self-vandalism, returning to a time before knowledge, the right not to know. And further on page 26, and nearly reminiscent of certain of today's mobs and currents of thought. Among the spectators gathered around the fire, a woman's voice was heard saying, beautiful time, beautiful time." What did she mean? Rejoicing at this new anti-intellectual age in which you could stop thinking when you no longer had to find out anything you didn't already agree with? The narrator, Rebellion, happens to find his way back into Berlin, in modern-day Berlin, in contemporary society, where it meets all sort of damaged people along the way. And we understand how that happened, how the book traveled back into Berlin. The original owner of the narrator of Rebellion was a Jewish literature professor by the name of David Gluckstein. And David Gluckstein, sensing that the book was about to be burned by the Nazis, he gave it to one of his favorite students. That student kept it hidden in the library of the family, and he passed the book on from generation to generation until it reached the hands of Lena. Lena is the main character in these pages. She lives in America, but she travels back to Berlin trying to interpret a map that was drawn by Professor Gluckstein in the final pages of Rebellion. I found interesting topics open up for discussion by the book. The first one being the treatment of books given by Hugo Hamilton himself, which I found superb. I've always believed that indeed books are a sort of golem. They have a dormant consciousness, and that consciousness can be activated by the right reader. The dormant consciousness of a book can marry the life mission of a reader, and a Übermenschen is then born, because as Nietzsche wrote, a man who has a why can withstand anyhow. And I don't care if you're not a reader, I don't care if you do not enjoy books, but believe me, your words, your lives are shaped by words. All the books your CEO has ever read, and trust me, CEOs read a lot, shape your professional life. Old books you've never even read or thought about shape your religious convictions, your life choices, your moral values, the education you receive and the education you pass on to others. Laws, court sentences, rules, and regulations are limits set by words to your political rights. And as I've always advocated here in this channel, please read on and try to be in the known side of things. Another interesting topic I found in the book is how easily male egos are bruised in in relationships. There are several examples here in the pages of how men handle mostly badly what they perceive as female dissension. So, guys, if a lady says it's over, please take it in the shin and move on. It's unbecoming, unnatural, ungentlemanlike to pretend it's not. The narrator, Rebellion, even recounts how the damaged ego of Joseph Roth seems to have precipitated the downfall of his beloved wife Friederike. Friederike was institutionalized in a mental asylum and incinerated by the Nazis when she was 40. So, the main premise of the book is awesome, but overall I was left a tad underwhelmed. There's a modern day love story which I didn't find particularly moving or believable, and there's also a thriller in here which I didn't find particularly thrilling, but overall it's still worth your time. Hope that's a wrap. Hope you can, folks, enjoy. Hope to see you again for our next review, and until then, please read on. A reader is like William Tell. He can always shoot straight through the apple of knowledge. See ya.